All right, it's ravioli time. This one's simple. We're gonna make it really quick. We're gonna take some shortcuts. We're gonna show you how to do some shortcuts. I'm not making pasta for these raviolis. I'm gonna use Wonton Skins. It's pasta dough, folks. Don't get scared. Really simple, all right? So ingredients are extremely simple. I have some blanched nettles. Y'all know how to blanch nettles. Dip them in hot water and then in freezing cold water. I got some ricotta cheese, whole milk, full fat ricotta. I got some cannabis butter, pine nuts, rosemary, sage, parsley, and some young nettles. I got some arugula, lemon juice, and cannabis olive oil to dress my lovely raviolis with. The raviolis are simple. Let's get making these raviolis. All right, so we're gonna throw in some ricotta cheese, whole milk, whole fat ricotta cheese. We're gonna add that right in there. Little pinch of salt. Couple of grinds of pepper. Don't be scared of the pepper. And then we're gonna take those wilted nettles that we have and we're gonna chop them up. We're gonna chop them up real fine as you'd like, actually. They don't have to be really fine. So we're gonna chop the nettles up. I think that's probably good for me. I'm gonna get them into the bowl with the ricotta cheese. Yeah, get all the bits of love in there. Get my cutting board and knife a wipe off so I can get making raviolis here in a second. All right, so salt, pepper. I'm gonna get an egg. Gotta crack an egg in there. And a little bit of fresh grated Parmigiano Reggiano, the undisputed king of all cheeses. This isn't a commercial, folks. And that was a nice pasture-raised farm egg that I got in there as well. You can use grocery store, you can use whatever you got. Your neighbor might have some chickens, get some eggs from them. All right, Parmesan, chopped nettles, salt and pepper, a little bit more salt and pepper for me. Nettles, we got the nettles in there. Break that yolk and give this a good mix. I'm gonna set this bad boy aside, Parmesan and everything, and the nettles, and give this a good mix. Show you how to make these quick raviolis. This is like one of those semi-homemade, semi-quick, really delicious, good results type of dishes. All right, so I'm looking at this, and I need to add more nettles to mine. So I got more chopped nettles. I'm adding more chopped nettles to mine, except for that big old piece right there. We might not get agreed with that. All right. And just play with it. For me, the ratio should be about, 50-50. You got the egg in there. Everything will hold, so you don't have to worry about anything getting crazy. You know what I mean? The Wonton Skins are good. You can take some cornstarch, non-genetically modified cornstarch, and you can lay it out on your board. For me, I made some raviolis ahead of time because I do like to let them sit. Sorry about that. I do like to let them, didn't mean to turn my back on you. I do like to let them sit in the fridge and kind of solidify. So I got my raviolis made. I'm gonna show you how to make some quick. Yeah, these look beautiful. Nice mix. I like the small spoon if you can find one, the really small spoon, because then you can't overfill your raviolis. I also have an egg wash here. There's no water. This is just an egg, whipped, beaten egg. That's my glue. So I'm going to lay 3 of these out so you can see how easy and simple it is. The key is to get them to seal up and then get them back in the fridge so that they stay there. And basically, this is just pasta, you guys. You know what I mean? It's a pasta dough. I got water boiling, salted water with some sea salt in it. I also have a pan going that's got a little bit of heat to it that I'm going to make my sage herb brown butter sauce in. So real simple in the raviolis. Take a chunk of your mix, put it in the center. If you use a smaller spoon, you won't put too much in there. And you want these raviolis to be done quick so that your guests can enjoy eating. You know what I mean? Take your finger, make sure you have a little towel for your egg wash, and just egg wash half of your radius, or your circle, I mean your half of your circle, so that you can close it, make a half moon, or what we call in Italian pansoti, which means potbelly raviolis. That's where these come from. These are from northern Italy. Lots of nettles eaten up there, and lots of nettles eaten in Abruzzo also. You notice I got the cornstarch in there so they don't stick. You can lay the cornstarch on the board if you want. You don't have to. And one of the things I do, my grandma made sure that she told me was, don't get a bunch of air trapped in your ravioli. You don't want to do that. So give it a good little push like that. Close it up. I'm going to do all 3 of these at one time. You got to make sure you have a fork on hand, because your fork is your aid and your help in really crimping these bad boys and sealing them up, making sure that they're nice and ready to go. Yeah, get the air out of there. Do our 3rd one. And I usually, 5 of these to an order is ample. You can eat more, but with a little salad, I think. And then you just want to crimp the edges. Don't be shy. Give it a pinch. Give it a crimp. Close them down. Seal them up. Oh, and then you have a beautiful pansoti. Look at that little potbelly. That's what pansoti means in Italian. Yeah. Nettles, cannabis, and Italian food. Never thought we would see that, did we? No. Glad to see things coming mainstream now. Don't have to hide like an outlaw. Some of us actually did time behind the plant, so it's nice to not have to hide anymore, you know what I mean? All right, so real simple. Raviolis, done. Pansoti, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get rid of that egg wash. I'm gonna set these bad boys to the side, because I already have these done. I got water boiling. I have my plate ready. I have my can of butters, my regular butter, salt, pepper, my herbs, pine nuts. And one of the keys and one of the tricks to this is you want to use a little bit of pasta water that you cook the raviolis in as part of your sauce. So you kind of have to be ready. The pan has to be ready to cook your sauce. Your water has to be ready, boiling, ready to go. All of your things have to be in store. I'm going to mosey this stuff on over here and make it a little bit easier for me to get to. You know what I mean? And these are raw nettles in with these herbs in my herb brown butter. They're going to cook and brown in the butter. They won't have any kind of sting to them, so don't worry about that. Salt and pepper. This is going to be my garnish later, my salad to top it with. Yeah, I'm excited. Some arugula and can of butter, regular butter, raviolis. Looks like we're in good shape, folks. We're in really good shape. I got a slotted spoon to remove these from the pan as well. Get another spoon ready to go so I can plate them up for you. Water is boiling. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of regular butter. I know it seems like a lot, but it's not. It's a brown butter sauce. About 2 tablespoons of brown butter to that sauce. Manipulate that heat. I'm actually going to add some of my sage leaves, some of my rosemary leaves, some of my nettle leaves, some of my parsley leaves to the brown butter, to the butter that's browning. And we're going to drop 5 raviolis in the water, the boiling water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 raviolis down. We got a spoon to make sure that we're not letting them stick to the bottom or anything like that. Yeah. And then I'm going to move the butter back onto the burner. Sorry, this is not in front of you guys. I'm going to add a little bit more butter, not can of butter yet, just regular butter. We're browning these herbs up. I also want to give it a pinch of salt and a few grinds of pepper. Raviolis are getting almost done, gotta say. Pine nuts, I don't want to over toast my pine nuts, so I'm going to add my pine nuts a little bit towards the end. I'm going to add a few now. Raviolis are almost done. Not adding that can of butter yet. We are not adding that can of butter yet. Butter is browning. Raviolis are cooking. And raviolis, I gotta say, folks, raviolis are looking really, really good. Really good. I have the arugula, lemon, salt and pepper, and also the cannabis-infused olive oil I made earlier, same way I made the ghee, that I'm gonna dress this salad with as a garnish for our raviolis. Gotta keep your eye on this butter. It's browning. It really is. Raviolis are almost done, I'm telling you. I'm gonna actually add a tiny sliver more of butter, regular butter. This is really one of those things where you gotta play with, manipulate, you know, you gotta keep your eye on at all times. But I mean, realistically, we're knocking these raviolis out in good time. You know, this is a simple dish, but this take longer. The soup may take longer. All right, starting to smell really nutty again. Yeah, raviolis. Somebody in our house always loves to eat the raviolis. They had no problem eating the raviolis. You know what I mean? That's somebody's working the camera. All right, butter's browning up nicely. I have the ladle ready to steal some of the pasta water from, because that is part of the sauce, remember. Yeah, it's getting nutty. We have not added any of the canna butter yet, remember. So we're just really letting these herbs toast up, get all nice and toasty, so on and so forth. Raviolis are about 3 seconds from being done. And everything is kind of coming together nicely. I'm going to add the raviolis to the pan. It's okay if they have a little water on them, because remember, we're going to add some of that pasta water to the pan as well. Oh yeah, we got raviolis, folks. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful raviolis. Beautiful brown butter sauce. Oh, these herbs look nice. I am loving this one. Just to let you know. Okay, heat's off, brown butter sauce is going. Keep your eye on this sauce. Add a little bit more water if needed. A few more pine nuts, even though we're gonna add some. Another pinch of salt and another round of pepper. Layer those flavors, remember. I'm gonna bring the salt and pepper over here. And now the canna butter, don't forget. Nice little swirl of canna butter in there. Yeah, that helps people sleep, definitely. And the canna butter's not getting too much heat, so we know that it's gonna maintain its integrity. Yes. I plated many of these in my time. Many, many, many restaurants I worked in, I served these just like this. And I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoy making it with cannabis today. Raviolis pansoti in particular being something that my family always ate and made. So for me to be able to cannabisize it and make it in today's world of food is always a plus for me. Spread these herbs out nicely. The brown butter sauce. Yeah. I'm going to set that to the side. We have pine nuts. We got the canna butter in there, so we don't need to add any more cannabis butter. I do want to take the old Insta tweezers and get the herbs distributed in the right spots, nicely across each of the raviolis. You don't want anybody to not have any herbs on them. Oh yes, this is one of my favorites, you guys. Definitely. A few more pine nuts. Don't be scared of the pine nuts. So I'm going to take this arugula. I'm going to give it a little squeeze of fresh lemon juice. I'm going to give it a pinch of sea salt. Beautiful, one of my favorite things, sea salt. Grind of pepper. few rosemary flowers, because remember we do have rosemary and all their other mountain herbs in there. A little drizzle of cannabis-infused olive oil, just a little. We got cannabis all over the place. Give this a nice little toss, hand toss, get some of that salt and pepper mixed in there, the olive oil, lemon juice. And give us a nice little mound of these this baby arugula right here. Oh man, this brings memories back. I love this dish. Really do. A couple more rosemary flowers on there. Yeah, get my hand washed. Is the greens dressed good enough? Yeah. Well, thanks for joining me again. Sorry about the mouthful of greens. We are cooking with cannabis. This one's really simple. Wild nettle and ricotta raviolis with herb brown butter, dressed arugula, rosemary flowers for that alpha pinene, some more terpenes in there, and pine nuts. Can't beat it. Really simple, cooking with cannabis. Thanks for joining us. We got one more coming at you, and that's going to be the wilted wild nettle and cheddar toast. Simple.